I like electronic music in that it can do this sorts of things that a person cannot do. Like it can change the, the tone and the character of the instruments on the fly, which you can't do with a violin without getting like a carpenter like involved. You can do things with rhythm and with pitch that are really difficult for like a live musician to do.
You can actually create sounds that maybe you've never heard before, or structure things in ways that are a lot freer than in something that's very regimented like rock music or folk music. It's really fun just to get out there and try to make new sounds that nobody else is making.
It is one thing that I will say is that the way things have evolved in the modular synth world, it seems like it's evolved toward abstraction. As far as the sound goes, people want abstract sounds. They are not interested in what I would call conventional music. The reason I started getting into analog synth modules and kind of pushing the direction of the company that way is because for a lot of people know me best as the pipe organ guy. I mean, I've been working on pipe organs now for 40 years. And honestly, the business just isn't there anymore. I had to find something else to try to diversify. And so knowing that I love electronics and music, why not put the two together and start building modules in this way? There's lots of other technical things that could be done, but the combination of music and electronics just made perfect sense, and it was a good fit for what I knew. So coming over here, we have a couple of modules which we've more recently designed, these ones here, that we jokingly called a filternator, because they are both sort of a filter and a resonator, and when you turn them up, they can create a very thin sound in that. Or they can take the high sounds out and leave you just with low sounds like this.
So I'm the other half of Kana Music. After all the design work's done, or most of the design work's done, Chris hands off the modules to me, and I try to break them. I have automated it, so I have solenoids that are triggered by MIDI, and then I have a microphone in this box sending it to the rest of the Eurorack system. It's also powering these motors so I can include any kind of animatronics in my performance.
So this oscilloscope is displaying the waveform that this mess over here is creating, this prototype module, which eventually will be made into a form like one of these over here. But for now, this is a test to see the proof of concept. And what's happening is that it's putting out a triangle wave, both in a regular version and an inverted version. So we can have like that, and we can speed it up. Or slow it way down. So there's sound change is very gradual, or anywhere in between.
Chris is a classical music guy. I grew up in the performance art world, studying sculpture and printmaking. So my sensibilities and how I perform are completely different, and I love that.
Where did the modular synthesizer first come to public notice in a big way? It was with Wendy Carlos with Switched on Bach, which was completely recorded on modular synthesizers and sold millions of copies. So in some ways, I think, what I'm doing here is going back to its roots.
The standard orchestra, classical instruments, acoustic instruments aren't going away. We have like centuries of music written for those, and people like listening to that stuff. I like listening to that stuff. Electronic music is a relatively new invention. Yeah, I mean it's been around for about a century, but it's still relatively new. And we're still trying to figure out ways to meld them. There have been some very interesting and wonderful meldings of both electronic and classical music. Just in the strings world, you have very recently, in the past few years, concertos written for electric violin and orchestra. I use a 7-string electric violin. It's called a Viper. It's made by Mark Wood, and that runs through into this blue pedal here. And this is my synthesizer. I can produce a lot of different sounds with it. So it's right now on a kind of a distorted square wave, which. Then from there it goes through into this pedal, and that's my delay pedal. What it does is it produces echoes of it. So